Welcome back guys. Today we are going to cover two very basic commands, cp and mv. I hope you are enjoying the videos, so do not forget to subscribe and do press the bell icon to receive notifications about the latest videos. After going through this video, you will be able to learn three things. One, how to copy files and directories. Second, how to move files and directories. And third thing is how to rename files and directories. So we're going to use two commands to achieve all this, cp and mv. The cp command is used to copy files and directories. The syntax is pretty simple. You will write cp, then you can use certain options if you want, followed by the source. Source means what all files or directories you want to copy, and then finally you will write the destination. Now focus here that source is followed by three dots. This means you can have multiple source. You can copy multiple files at the same time, but your destination has to be one single directory only. You cannot copy one file into multiple directories. You can only copy multiple files into one destination directory. Now let us take an example to understand how to use the cp command. Now let us suppose that out of these many files, I want to copy the file f1.txt into a directory A. Now let us first view what are the contents of directory A. So we can see that the directory A contains some content like directory B and D1 and the file write.c. So now I want to copy the file f1.txt into the directory A. If I view the contents again, now I can see f1.txt in the directory A as well as it remains in the current directory also. So copy command, cp command works like copy paste. Similarly, if I want to copy multiple files at the same time, what I can do is use cp. Now let us suppose I want to copy all the .sh files, into the directory A. So what I can write, star.sh, then A. If I view directory contents for A, I can see all the .sh files being copied into directory A. Similarly, if you want to write multiple file names, for example f2.txt, folk1 and then A, so this will copy two files f2.txt and folk1 into the directory A. So ls A, you can see that. Okay, but remember, I cannot copy one file into multiple directories. For example, if I want to copy the file f3 into directory A as well as into directory D1, so this is not going to happen. What it is going to treat is that I want to copy f3 and directory A into D1. Alright, so it's going to omit. Why? Because you cannot copy one directory into another directory without using the -r option. This we are going to learn a little further into this video. Okay, so remember, you can have multiple source files and only one destination directory. Now another important thing is, by default the name of the file remains same after being copied from one location to another location. But if you want to change the name after the file is being copied, that is also possible. So how we can do that? Now let us suppose that I want to copy sample.txt into directory A. So what I'm going to do is sample.txt and then A. But if I do this, then the name will remain same in the directory A also. So now if I want to change the name, what I will do, /sample_new.txt. So let's suppose this is the new name that I want. Now if I view the contents, I can see here sample_new.txt. We can verify that it is the same file if we view the contents. So let us view the contents of sample.txt first. So this is the content. Now if I view the content of sample new.txt, the contents are exactly same. Now let us learn some options that can be used with the cp command. The very first option is -a, which can be used to copy the data as well as attributes of the file. Now we understand that once we copy a file, the data within the file is also going to get copied. Now let us suppose that I copy f1.txt into the directory d1. Okay, if I view the contents of f1.txt here as well as within the d1 directory, both the files will have the same content. So this is understood. Now what do you mean by copying the attributes? If I long list the file in the current directory and in the destination directory where I have copied it, so you can see that the date and time are not same. The original file is having the original timestamp, whereas the copied file is having the current timestamp, the time of actually copying the file. Now if you want that the file after being copied also have the same timestamp, then you need to use the -a option. Now I'm going to copy the same file f1.txt using the -a option into the directory d2. Okay, and now if I long list the current file and the file in the destination directory which I have just copied, you will see that the timestamp is exactly same. This is what will happen if you use the -a option. The content is getting copied as well as the attributes. Attribute means the timestamp associated with the file. The second option that we can use with cp command is the -i option, which is going to prompt before overwriting a file. Now sometimes it might happen that the destination directory already contains a file with the same name. So for example, in the directory ddd, there is already a file f1.txt. If I view the contents of this file, so these are the contents which are different from the contents of f1.txt, which is in the current working directory. Alright, now if by mistake I issue this command f1.txt into ddd, this is going to overwrite the file f1.txt which is already inside the ddd directory, and hence I might lose the contents of that directory. Now just to be safe, what I can do is I can use the -i option, which is going to see whether a file with the same name already exists in the destination directory or not. If yes, then it is going to ask me whether I want to still copy the file or not. So you can see it is going to ask overwrite. So you need to say yes or no. So since I don't want to copy it, I will say no. It will not copy the file and my contents will still be intact. But if I don't use this, it has copied the file. Now what is going to happen? If I now view this, you can see that the contents or the file, original file f1.txt has been overwritten with the new file f1.txt. So always use -i option if there is a chance that the destination directory already might contain a file with the same name. The third option is the -n option, which is going to prevent the overwriting of the existing file. Now the only difference is with -i, it prompted or it asked you whether you want to copy or not. But if you use -n, it is simply not going to copy if the file with the same name in the destination exists. So once again, I'm going to consider the same file f1.txt, but this time the destination directory will be ddd2. So in ddd2, there's already a file with the name f1.txt. if I check the contents of this file, so this is an empty file. Okay, in my current working directory is the file f1.txt, which is having some content written into it. Now if I try to copy using -n this current file f1.txt into the ddd2 directory, it is not going to copy the file, because ddd2 already contains a file with the name f1.txt. Although it is not going to show any kind of a message, but if I check the contents of that file, you can see that it is still empty. Another way to do is you can do the long list of both the files, and you can see that the timestamp is different on both those files, and it is not the current timestamp also, which is 2157, which it should have been if it was copied. This means that no copy operation was performed because I used the -n option. The fourth option is, and it is very important option, is to copy directories. Now if I try to copy a directory into another directory, so let us suppose I want to copy A into directory D1, it is going to show an error -r not specified, omitting directory A, which means that you cannot copy a directory into another directory until and unless you use the -r option. So I'm going to perform the same operation again, but this time I'm going to use -r, and this time there's no error. And if I check the contents of D1, I'll be able to see the directory A. The last option is to create hard links. If you use the -l option with cp command, so rather than copying the file, it is going to create a link of that file. The difference will be, once you copy a file, if you manipulate one of the files, the other file is not going to get affected by that operation. For example, you update the contents of one of the files, it's not going to copy the file that you have copied in some other directory. But in case of links, if you update the one file, the other file, the contents automatically get updated. Now let us consider a file f3 which is having some content. So this is the content in f3. If I copy f3 into the directory D, so now we can see that even D contains f3. It will also have the same contents. So both the contents are same. Now if I manipulate or if I change the contents of f3 in the current working directory, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete one line. Now this is not going to have any impact on the file inside D. So if I view the contents, you can see that the contents are still the same, but the current file, the contents we have modified. Now let us suppose that I use the -l option to copy f3 into directory D2. So if I view the contents in both the files, we will have the same content. Now if I modify f3, so I'm going to add another line, so the contents are modified as well as the contents are updated in the file within D2. So this is what do you mean by a link. Link is just giving another path to access the same file. So, but you are referring to the same file only. So if you modify one of them, the other one automatically gets updated. The next command that we are going to study is mv. The only difference between cp and mv is cp behaves as a copy paste operation, whereas mv behaves as a cut paste operation. The use and the syntax are exactly same for both the commands. So whatever was the syntax for cp commands, the syntax for mv command also remains the same. The only difference is going to be that the file is going to be deleted from the source directory and it is going to be pasted in the destination directory. The second use of mv command is it can be used to rename a file. So I'm going to discuss both these with an example. Now let us first simply use the mv command to move the files from one directory to another directory. So let us take a very simple example. If I move the file fed into the directory D, then what is going to happen? Fed now does not exist in the current working directory. Earlier it was here, but it will be there in the destination directory D, fed, right? This is the only change. In case of copy, the file remains in the source directory also, but in case of mv, the file gets deleted from the source directory. The second use, as I have told you, is to rename the files. So let us suppose that I want to rename the file f3 to f13. Now f3 contains this content, okay? If I use mv and I write like this, so I will not specify the destination directory, but rather than the directory name, I will write the new file name. So what it is going to do is, it is going to rename the file f3 to f13. Now you can see there's no file as f3, but if I view the contents of f13, the contents are exactly same as were of f3, because we have now changed the name of f3 to f13. Now it is time to test yourself by answering a few questions. Question number 1. Copy a file f1 into directory d1, but the name after copying must be changed to new underscore f1. Question number 2. You created a file note.txt and wrote some content into it. Later you realize that the name must be notes.txt. So this means there was a spelling mistake. Now what command will you use so that the name of the file is changed but the contents are not affected? Question number 3. Now let us suppose that as an admin you want to copy a file f1 which was created by some other user into the directory d1. Now make sure that after copying, the ownership of the file f1 inside d1 does not change. This means that the file that is copied into d1, that file should have the same ownership as the original user. So the username should be same in both the files. Now I am not going to discuss the answers as I have already discussed them in the video. So if you are not able to do it, do drop a message and I will be happy to help you out. For more reading, you can visit these links where you will find a detailed discussion on both the cp as well as the mv command. I hope that you have enjoyed the video. Keep watching this tutor. Do not forget to subscribe and share. See you in the next class. Take care.